Hello everyone, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I'm so excited you're here today because in today's video, we continue our Christmas 2023 series with a beautiful DIY video. I'm going to share with you how to create a beautiful statement on your front door with 3 gorgeous wreath DIYs. You guys, this video is jam-packed with wreath making tips and ideas, tricks and hacks on how you can create a gorgeous wreath. Actually, not one, but 3. And I really think you're going to love them. So if you are interested in how to create a gorgeous wreath for Christmas for your front door, please stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video and share with your friends on Facebook, on Instagram, and on WhatsApp because it is free and it really helps this channel. And if you are new to this channel, I really hope that you consider subscribing. And while you subscribe, don't forget to turn the notification bell on because you will not want to miss all of the Christmas 2023 series coming your way. Are you guys ready? I'm gonna take you into the studio and I'm gonna give you step-by-step instructions on how to create a gorgeous traditional Christmas wreath for your front door. Keep watching. All right, everyone, so for this beautiful wreath DIY for Christmas, we're going to create something traditional. So I have my basic wreath that you can find this at any local craft store. I'm going to be using some traditional items like these beautiful poinsettias with a gold center. I'm going to be using some filler greenery. I am going to be using some deco material to fill in our wreath, a beautiful ribbon that has got a gold lame back and a beautiful, absolutely stunning red velvet on the front. It is one of my favorite ribbons and I absolutely love it. Then also I'm gonna use a mesh red ribbon to fill in as well. And for our accent ribbon, I decided to do something a little bit more traditional. So I have this burlap ribbon that has some pine cones and glitter and green. Is so pretty. You'll see the end result soon. Of course, I'm gonna add some gold ornaments and matte, shiny, and glitter. And I have my, first of all, I wanna point out that you guys recommended I got something for the noise, and I did, but I have my tools right here. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fluff this wreath real quick because when they come in the box, obviously they come like this. And also I'm gonna get all of this cleared out. I'm gonna bring my hot glue gun, get it all ready and situated, and I'll be right back to give you step number 1. Keep watching. All right, so I am back and I just want to share with you how fluffed this wreath is. So all you have to do basically is just grab every single bristle and move it between each other so that way it looks really fluffed, and look how much bigger it got. So now the next step is going to be to put the deco material in. You guys, for that we really have to do it on a flat surface because it is super easy. So what I do is I grab this right here and then I fold it in half like this. I create this loop and I'm going to start on the outside. So I'll share with you right here. So I like to start on the outside and I just tie them really, really tight with 2 bristles. And having this lazy Susan, it's a saver when you have to make a wreath. I'm gonna actually move it over here so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So what you do is you do a loop about 4 inches and then you swirl a little bit to your left. And then you do another loop and then you go about another 4 inches. And you want to start on the outside perimeter. For this, you're going to need about 2 rolls of this deco material. This is about a 4-inch deco material. No, it's actually 6 inches. Oh, I wish I had a measuring tape. Do I have one in my tchotchkes? No, I don't. Remind myself, Jamison, to put a measuring tape on my tchotchke drawer. I call it my tchotchke drawer. There should be one over there in that tchotchke drawer over there. Anyways, I do want to let you know how thick this deco material is so that you guys, when you go looking for it, you can find it because it is so easy to work with. Look how beautiful the loops turn out. And I just want to take a second to thank you guys so much because this week we turned 50. Thank you, Jameson. Give it up for Jameson, the helper right now. He's behind the camera and he's helping us create all of these videos for the holiday season. We are having so much fun, you guys, creating this for you. So let me see, this is a 5-inch deco material, so 5 to 6 inches. But what I was saying is I want to thank you so much because this week, not only last week we turned 250,000 here on YouTube, but then on the same week we turned 50,000 on Facebook. And then also we turn 20,000 in the Spanish channel. If you speak Spanish, remember we have a Spanish channel called El Hogar de Ramon. Or if you want to learn Spanish, you know, that's how I learned English, by watching movies, reading Harry Potter, and listening to Celine Dion. So if you just want to watch me speaking Spanish, go follow the El Hogar de Ramon channel. But I wanted to say thank you so much for all of you guys' support. It really means the world to me, because we get to do all of this for you in order to not only teach you, inspire you, hopefully entertain you. And I just absolutely am so grateful to be able to do this. So thank you, thank you, thank you. A round of applause for you guys. All right, so I'm gonna cut right here. And so that's what it looks like on the outside. So now I'm gonna grab my second roll, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. So I'm gonna fold about 5 inches, and I'm going to now go right here in the middle. I'm gonna open up 2 of my bristles, and you wanna make sure that you do this these loops on the same motion. You don't want to go now the opposite way, because that will lose the balance on your wreath. And so I'm going to add right here. This is kind of like the hardest part, because you have to do it on the flat surface, but this is what's going to make that wreath look very fluffy and full, and you will not have to put a whole bunch of other things, because you have all of this mesh material to just help you with that. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying these videos. Oh my gosh, I'm having such a blast creating this Christmas season for 2023. And I just want to say thank you for all the comments. You guys have been so gracious to leave comments. And we sometimes like to sit down and read them. And Jameson enjoys all of the comments about Jameson. So be sure to leave him a comment down below and let him know how much we appreciate him helping this season, you guys. Having the extra set of hands and eyes, it really, really helps me, because I can stay focused on creating while he focuses on the comments and all of the other things that we have to do with the channel, the posting on the Instagram and the Facebook and all those things. So that way I can stay focused on coming up with brand new ideas to inspire you guys to create something beautiful in your home. So be sure to leave Jameson a comment down below saying thank you and how much we appreciate his help here on the channel. All right, so I came to the second, and you know what, I'm gonna finish. Do I want to finish all of this mesh? Let's see. Let me see if I need to. No, I'm not. I'm going to cut right here. I'm going to just pitch the... If you have this much on left on your roll, either you find a way to put it or pitch it, because this is how we become hoarders, you guys. I had to go through all my ribbon, and I had to pitch a whole bunch of it, because I just have scraps. And I was like, I'm always trying to save all those things, because I was like, oh, we'll use it on the next project, always on the, and we never do. And so now I have this storage unit full of scraps. And so we took a day and we went through all of it. And so we had to pitch a whole bunch of it. All right, so now I have this ribbon. This is one of my favorite ribbons, because not only it's glittered, but it's one of those meshes that you can pull and it becomes really thick. But once you pull it, there's no going back. So I'm gonna cut that little piece right there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut on an angle right here to begin our loops. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go through the loops right here. I'm gonna attach right here with these two. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a row of this ribbon, this mesh ribbon, because that's gonna give us even more texture, more texture. And I want this loop to be a little bit bigger, as you guys can see, to really come out of the wreath, because that's what's gonna give us texture. You want that texture on your wreath, and it makes it look more beautiful, and it kind of starts to cover that inexpensive mesh with a more luxurious item like this ribbon right here. And so we're gonna create 6-inch loops. And I cannot stop thinking about the viewer who told me they're not bows, Ramon, they're loops. I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you, because I know that I knew something was wrong when I was calling them bows, but you know, I've been doing it for so long and I just call them bows. But I understand they're loops, and they are about 6 to 7 inches. And so I'm gonna continue that. Look at that, how those loops are making my wreath look bigger, and I'm gonna put it on a stand in a second. So what I'm going to do is just finish this row. And because this ribbon is a little bit more pricey, then what we want to do is just do one row, and it's gonna help us cover some of the wreath, but then the deco material or the deco mesh is going to be what really gives it that fluff. But this is going to be more of a texture thing right here. If you guys are wreath makers and if you make them to sell, be sure to leave me a comment down below. I wanna know how many of you do wreaths to sell, and if these videos are helping you guys, and remember, all of the wreaths on these videos you can find on my Etsy shop, and I'm going to leave the Etsy shop linked down below. They are one of a kind. There's only one of each, and so you can own a Ramon at home if you just go to my Etsy shop. You know, I like the way this looks, and you know how much bigger the wreath got, but I feel like we have to do, and I'm gonna do this one. Oops, I dropped my scissors. I'm gonna do this one right here. I'm gonna go ahead and get them because I'm gonna need them. So I'm gonna start right here by doing an angle again. It just looks cleaner that way. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go right here, and I'm also going to do some loops on the inside because that'll help us fill in the inside of it. But look how pretty all of this red and the greenery looks. And then the way, if you want to do it standing, all you have to do is continue to move your wreath on the same direction like this. Look at that. And that way you can create that loop, and you never move from this spot. You'll notice that I'll never actually stop making the loop on the same spot. Do you see that? I'm just continue to making a loop on the same spot, but because you're spinning it around, of course the wreath continues to go around. And it is about, I want to say, what would you say, James? Is that like an 80-degree turn that I'm doing? Or 650? 15? Yeah, it's about a 15-degree turn. And look at that, that just filled up all of that right there. So now I'm gonna grab my scissors and I'm going to cut at an angle right here. And look at that, now we have a full wreath with all of this beautiful mesh that you can pull and make it bigger if you want to. Look at that, you just pull a little bit like this. And I like to do that at the very end so that way I can have a really full wreath. So now this wreath is going to be right there. I'm gonna get my next step, which will be some greenery. I'm gonna get it ready and I'll be right back with you, so keep watching. All right, you guys, so I was gonna add the greenery, but you know what? Jamison has that's why I say 2 ICs better than 4 IC better than 2. And he's like, let's just continue with the ribbon. And he is so right. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut my ribbon right here. And what I want to do for this particular step is I'm going to do 2 loop bows with this beautiful velvet ribbon. And the bows, or the loops on the bow, are going to be about probably 4 to 6 inches each. And I just want loops like this. So I'm gonna cut this guy right here. Actually, I'm gonna wire it. And then I'm gonna pull really tight right here. And using the wire that I use, look how pretty this bow is. I'm going to introduce this bow right here in the middle. It's almost just like decorating your Christmas tree, really. It's the same steps, it's the same material, but it's just a different thing that we're doing. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna turn my corner right there, and I'm going to cut at an angle. So it's gonna give me that beautiful lame gold feel to it. And I'm gonna spin a little bit. You know what, I'm gonna spin to the other side just because we've been spinning to that side. So then I'm going to repeat myself, and I'm going to do yet another little bow like this. And so I'm gonna do 2 loops, and look how I go down, because it is then easier to pinch and gather. You twist, so that way you have that red material up, or you could just do a gold side and a red side, because that's what we're going to be doing, red and gold. And to me, traditional colors is usually red and gold, and I just absolutely love the fact that this ribbon has both of my favorite Christmas colors. Now the other thing is this wire is already pre-cut, and I really, like I always tell you guys, having all of your tools at the ready really does help. Look at that. So we're gonna add this other bow right here, and this velvet material is going to make our wreath look super luxurious. We're gonna spin that tail right here, and I do want to bring once again that lame gold forward, and then I'm going to cut right here at an angle like that. So that's 2. I'm gonna give it another spin. I'm gonna do probably 4 of them because they're smaller, and so I figured that we can do 4 cute loops or bows. Now I'm confused with the word loop and bow. What is a loop and what is a bow? And I'm going to bring this bow like this, bring that forward, or back actually, a little bit back, because we're gonna be doing a gold tail. I'm gonna pull really tight. I'm gonna twist that really tight, and I'm going to attach right here, like so. And then you wanna fluff this bow, and then of course we wanna bring that tail like that. And we're going to give it another spin, and we're going to do just one more right here. So I'm gonna bring my beautiful velvet ribbon. Isn't this beautiful, Jameson?
I love it. Stunning.
It is stunning. Come over here and say hi to the people. Come say hi, what's up, what's going on, what's happening. What do you have to say?
Surprise, surprise, I'm back, I'm back.
What do you have to say to the public?
Well, I imagine my face is probably the same color now as this ribbon, right?
We saw a comment where somebody said Jameson turned beet red just like right now. Well, at least you matched the
Exactly.
the ribbon. What do you want to say to the public?
Christmas is here, and we are in full swing, and we are ready to rock and roll, and this is going to be a great, great season. Very exciting.
We are super excited for this season.
And I'm loving how all of this ribbon is turning out.
Doesn't it look beautiful?
Yes.
So we're gonna do that right there, and then of course I'm gonna trim this tail a little shorter.
All right. We're going to bow out gracefully.
Thank you. Yay! Clap for Jameson for being here and helping you guys. It really does help having that extra set of hands and eyes because it helps. All right, so I'm gonna put it right there. And look how pretty this is with all of our gold. Oh, it's so beautiful. I wish you could really see this in person. All of these bows are so stunning there, but we're not gonna stop there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna introduce my accent brand, which is going to be this beautiful burlap. This is a 2-inch burlap, and for this one, I'm gonna dovetail. And it has this print on it, and it's this pine cones with gold glitter. It's so pretty. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to do a 3-loop bow, basically what we've been doing, but with 3 loops to really fill in my wreath. And I want to do probably 2 or 3, no, 3 or 4. We'll see. I want to go in between them. So I'm gonna grab a wire, which Jameson reminds me that I have to go get me some wire because we're running out. If you guys don't work with this wire, let me tell you, it is a lifesaver. Look how easy it is to make your bows. So I'm going to put this guy right here in between. And I love the juxtaposition of this beautiful velvet and this burlap right here. It is so beautiful because it has that gold and it really picks up with the gold I made. Oh my God, it's so pretty. I cannot even right now. So I'm gonna do another one right here, but I do want to dovetail this one. And the way you do that is you fold it in half. Once again, my scissors are being loud. And then we're going to do about a 4-inch loop. We're gonna do this, that, and then we're gonna spin and we're gonna do a third one. And when you do this type of bows, like I always tell you, to do all of your bows at a different size, so that way it has more texture than trying to get them all at the same size. First of all, it's harder, and then it doesn't look as textural as it does when you have multiples. All right, so I'm gonna add this guy right here, and I'm gonna try and go as far in as I can. So that, like, the way I like to do this, I grab a bristle with my left hand, then I push with my right, my bow, and I twist that wire in, and then just like that, you fluff your bow, and then you cut your tail. And look, you guys, it is so simple. And wait till you see the one upcoming. Jameson picked out this colorful, so pretty theme that we are doing. It is very cheerful, let me just say, with all of these beautiful ribbons and ornaments, and that's coming up quick, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so I'm gonna continue making these bows real quick, and I'll be right back to give you the next step because we have a lot to go to, so keep watching. Okay, so now I'm going to add my last burlap ribbon, and I'm going to add it right here in between bows. Like I said, I'm gonna go all the way down, and then you wanna fluff those bows like this. And at this point, you wanna grab every single tail that is not dovetail, and because we're dovetailing this 2.5-inch ribbon, so that way kinda gives us all of these tails, as you guys can see right here, like this guy right here is not dovetail. So I'm going to go ahead and really quick just run my scissors through it. And like you see, that just gives us so much texture. I love the little points on it, and it just makes it look more luxurious. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring my hot glue gun because it is time to get glue in. And so I'm gonna put this guy right here and move it over to this side so you guys can see what I'm doing. And for this step, what I selected is this beautiful pick of poinsettias because I thought that like this will look traditional. I'm gonna cut them all at once. You guys know I like to do that. We're gonna add all of them, but I like to cut them all at once so that way, well, it's easier for me to maneuver. So I'm going to put them over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm gonna start with this poinsettia right here, and I like to move all of these foliages up. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna give it a little bit of a curvature, and then I'll grab my my wire cutters, and you're gonna give them a clip.
You realize you just did a magic trick with that.
What's that?
I didn't know the leaves could move up towards it.
Oh, yeah, you can move the leaves up, and that's so it looks more full, and when you insert it, it just looks more full. So basically what we're going to do is we're gonna add some glue to it right here, and be sure to be generous with that glue because we want it to stick to something. So I'm gonna grab my poinsettia from the head, and I'm gonna open right here, and this is where I'm going to go with it, like that. Then I'm gonna give it a little bit of a spin, like this. I'm gonna grab yet another one of these poinsettias, and I love this one because it has some holly foliage in it versus just your regular foliage. And so that's gonna give us also more texture and just makes it look more natural. And I always say when you're doing floral arrangements, or if you're doing any floral type of work, if you have more than one type of greenery, that's what makes your work look more natural. Look at that, just fills in. They're super easy to work with. I'm gonna twist it one more time. If you are working with a stand, the twist motion is what's gonna really help us get that balance, because you have to rotate it the same way. That way, it's very well balanced. I'm gonna add more glue to this guy right here. Be generous, like I say, because you want it to really stick to something. I'm gonna add this guy right here, like this. Twist one more time. And I have some other ones over here. I'm sorry if I disappear, but I have two of these picks that I've selected. I'm gonna go ahead and cut all of this stuff also. This is the right time for you guys to give this video a thumbs up. Have you given this video a thumbs up? Also, don't forget to share with your friends on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on all of the platforms, so they too can come and join us here at Ramon at Home. All right, so I have this right here with the holly, so I'm gonna give it a little curvature, and I'm going to add plenty of glue. Don't be scared. It burns a little bit, but it will make your wreath look gorgeous. And then I'm gonna twist one more time, and so I'm gonna add yet another one with a holly foliage. Isn't this absolutely gorgeous? I love the holly foliage. When I worked at a flower shop back in the Midwest, the holiday season was my favorite because we got to work with holly and berries and just the colors of Christmas on florals. Oh my gosh, it's such a delight to work with the traditional colors with the Mother Nature does. So I'm gonna flip right here, and I'm gonna go right here like that. All right, so that's plenty of our poinsettias. I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna add this one too. Let me find a place to add it. I already have it. This is what I'm saying. If I save this poinsettia, where am I gonna put it? So might as well just either put it on your design or pitch it, because you're gonna be left with one lonely poinsettia. And then also, if you're doing this for a customer, well, they already pay for it, so might as well give them all of the materials that they paid for, because they're worth it. So I'm gonna insert this one right here on the inside. That's gonna make it look even more thicker. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, this also comes with these cute little pine cones. Now, they have the gold glitter just like the ones on the print right here. And so that's why I'm going to add them, because I tell Jameson I usually don't like to work with pine cones, but since these ones have that gold bedazzled glitter on it, it is perfect for that print on that ribbon. So I'm gonna lift up right here, and I'm gonna go up, and I'm going to add a pine cone right there. And see how all of this holly just starts to make that wreath fuller. I'm gonna grab this other one and cut a little shorter, like this. And I always like to give this a curvature like this, so it kind of latches on to my wreath. Adding some glue. Isn't this relaxing to watch, you guys? I remember when I was at the flower shop also, I just loved to watch my co-workers design, because I was like, oh my gosh, that is so relaxing. I'm gonna add this guy right here. We're gonna twist. I'm gonna grab another pine cone. I'm gonna lift it up, and I'm gonna go all the way over here. When you have sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s, remember you have to do that famous triangle so it is balanced. And because I only have, oh, you know what, I can get it. I need some glue, my glue gun. I'm tucking so much that I didn't notice that my glue gun just ran out totally. All right, now we're kicking. So be sure to be generous with this glue, you guys. Don't be stingy, because you don't want your client's wreath to fly off in the middle of the holiday season. I'm gonna add this guy right here, like that. Look, just that little touch of gold is so pretty. All right, you guys, so this is the fun part, and this is where we add all of our ornaments. And for that, I'm going to use a variety of gold ornaments in two different sizes. This right here is the 4-inch. And with these ones, you do have to be super generous. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift up, and we want to make sure that this tacks on to some of the mesh and then also some of the greenery. And every time you add a bigger one right there, I want to also add a smaller one somewhere near. The reason why is so that way it creates more of a focal point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a lot of glue to this ornament because I don't want it to fall off. I'm going to open all this up, and then I'm going to push right here and see how these two just create a little bit of a focal point. So now I'm going to move like this, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. I have a variety of ornaments, so I'm going to use all of them. I'm going to use glittered, matte, and shiny. And I just absolutely love creating these clusters with ornaments because it really helps me create this holiday feel. Look at that. And because it's so packed in there, it's going to really hang on to it. So now I'm going to add, you know what, I'm going to add a matte one with this shiny one. And just like I said, be sure to be generous with your glue. Like this. And then we lift up over here and we put it somewhere near. And so what we're trying to look is for a triangle. So I have these two right here, and I'm going to go like this. And so now I'm going to do the same somewhere over here to create this triangle. So now I'm going to start with a big mat. And like I said, just be sure to squeeze that glue gun and let it pop. You guys, it really pops. Like, it goes like when you push. So I'm going to open up right here, and I'm going to insert my ornament right there. And then I'm gonna grab a shiny little one. And once again, just be generous with it. Like this. And I'm going to find a place somewhere near where I can insert that one. Like that. How cute is this? Okay, I do feel like it needs another one. You know, this is when you have to like make yourself stop because you can always go crazy with the ornaments, but you know, it's the holidays. So we kind of have to go crazy with the ornaments and the picks and the garlands and all of the things because you only get one chance to do Christmas right. I'm gonna open right here and add this ornament right here. And then I'm gonna grab maybe a shiny one to really let it catch the light. Like this. And I'm going to push right here. How beautiful. This wreath is looking so stunning and so traditional. However, it needs my special touch, which is our flyaways. I'm gonna get those ready and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so I absolutely love the way this wreath is looking. However, it is not a Ramon at Home original unless it has my flyaways. And for that, I'm going to use this absolutely gorgeous glittered fern that I am obsessed with. Look how easy it really is to take apart. And that's what's gonna give us a whole bang for our buck. You can use it like this if you're making like a bigger project, but because this is a wreath, we don't really want to over exaggerate it. I would do it on a swag where you can put on a lantern or a swag. Look at that, it's so pretty, but because it is a wreath, we're gonna take it apart like this, and that's what I love about it. Look how easy it was to take apart. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, now that I have all my material right here and my little towel so I can consume some of that noise, I'm gonna cut it a little shorter and I'm gonna put some glue, especially where that glitter is because it tends to tack on better there. And I'm gonna start right here on the top by adding one like that. I want it to be tighter on it, and then I'm gonna cut a little bit of this one, and I'm going to go like this, boop, 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 a lot of glue. And then I'm going to go down right here. I'm going to add some of that right here. And look, you go one up. Remember, what goes up must come down. And then we twist a little bit. If you do not have one of these stands, I really recommend to get one. What this is a florist spray stand. It's what they use for funeral work. When you send funeral flowers, you can buy these stands. You can buy at any floral supply store. I'm gonna add one right there. I'm gonna cut this one short because it really does come in handy having this stand to work on. The only step that I like to use to do on the table is to add the mesh because it is easier. I'm gonna add this guy right here. Look how stunning that is. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a spin. I'm gonna do one up here. So yeah, I do recommend you get yourself one of these spray stands. Like I said, they are available anywhere suppliers, floral suppliers are sold. I'm gonna open up right here and I'm gonna add. With this one, I'm being really careful not to get any of the ribbons with the glue, you guys, because these velvet ribbons are not very forgiving. So you have to make sure that you have a really, what I call a really clean drop. When you drop your stem or your floral with glue, you have to be really clean about it because you don't want glue all over your velvet, beautiful, expensive ribbon. So look, I'm gonna lift up right here. I actually look for the spot where this is going to go. I move everything and then I insert my Flyaway. Now continue spinning around and look how I'm spinning all one way. That way it has a lot of movement on it. If I just keep going north, left, right, south, up, down, then it's not going to look as clean. So now I'm gonna move all of this over here. I'm gonna go in with my stem. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh. Oh, I have to do one up, down. So I'm gonna cut right here. Thumbs up, you guys, and leave me a comment. Be sure to leave me a comment and let me know if you have learned any tips and tricks on how to make your own wreath. And once again, if you are a wreath seller, be sure to leave me a comment down below. I'm gonna cut this one a little shorter because I feel like it's on the way. So I'm gonna, sorry if I cross you over here. I'm gonna cut a little shorter. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna continue adding these flyaways. Like I said, it's not a Ramon at Home original unless it has some of these flyaways, whether it's a Christmas tree, a garland, a wreath, or even a floral arrangement. I will not send out a floral arrangement without a flyaway. Because look how much luxurious that makes it look. Don't you agree, Jameson?
Absolutely.
It just looks so pretty in person. You'll see a close-up here soon. We are almost done with this. All right, so I'm gonna lift up my ornament and I'm gonna go right in here like that. And putting these flyaways between the ornaments and the harder surfaces, it really helps it to tie on. And that's why you want a really packed wreath, because that way you can just put your flyaways and your ornaments and your picks and your stems and they'll stay in place. All right, so I'm gonna add this guy right here up on the top, opening all of my stuff. Oh my gosh, this gold is so gorgeous, you guys. I'm not just saying that because I'm making it myself, but if I saw this somewhere, I would so want it. I would so want it. I'd be like, that's my wreath for the season. It is so lavish looking. This gold, you guys, is so beautiful. All right, so now I'm gonna lift up right here. Remember, move all of your ribbons out of the way before you drop your stem. And I'm gonna go like this. I have a few more to do. I'm gonna do them really fast and I'll be right back. Keep watching. All right, you guys, before I put this on the door, I want to give you a real recap of what we did. First of all, we started by fluffing our wreath. Then after that, we added that deco material to kind of make it look fluffier and more full. After that, I added this gorgeous mesh ribbon that you can basically pull and make it look even fuller. That was our first step. After that, I added the bows and I have this beautiful velvet with a gold lame back and also this pine cone burlap, which makes it look a little more rustic. It is so pretty. Now here's the secret. If it is a 4-inch ribbon, you want to cut at a slant, and if it is a 2.5 to inch ribbon, you want to do dovetails because that gives it so much more texture to our wreath. After we were done with our ribbons, what we did is we added all of our ornaments. Remember to add them by actually no, I'm lying. We did the poinsettias. We added our poinsettias with all of our greenery, the holly and the other greenery. Then after that, we added our ornaments in clusters of 2. So we have a large one and then also a small one somewhere near, so it actually looks more packed. And then after we added our ornaments, it would not be a Ramon at Home wreath without the gold flyaways. Remember to always do a clean drop. That means to really be careful so you don't stain your ribbons and your poinsettias with glue, because you would not want that in your home, so you don't want that for your customers. All right, so now I'm gonna put this in the door and I'm gonna give you a beautiful close-up. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so let me share with you a close-up of this beautiful wreath and all of the details that went into it. I just want you to note right here the beautiful velvet ribbon with the lame gold, and then these beautiful poinsettias, and look at the detail on this ribbon with the pine cones. The juxtaposition of the burlap and the velvet, it is such an elegant look. And you guys, first of all, hi, I'm right there. How about these flyaways and the mesh wreath? It is so beautiful, so traditional, and I really think that you're going to love this one. Remember, all of these wreaths are now available on my Etsy shop, and you can come snatch one or make yourself one. Whatever you decide to do, I know that you're going to love this beautiful traditional Christmas wreath. Now, wasn't that a super gorgeous and simple to make wreath DIY? You guys, you can too adorn your front door for Christmas this season with a beautiful wreath if you just follow these simple steps. Don't forget that this wreath is also going to be ready on my Etsy shop in case you just want to snatch it and you don't have to make one. But now I'm going to give you instructions on how to create a beautiful, trust me when I tell you, this is so bright, so cheerful, and perfect for the holiday season 2023. Follow these simple steps on how to create a gorgeous statement on your front door with a beautiful Christmas wreath. Let's take a look. All right, everyone, so after a quick outfit change, I'm going to tell you the things we're going to need for this beautiful and colorful Christmas wreath. This is perfect if you are doing the Grinch theme, and then also if you have children in your home. And I must say, this is Jamison's favorite one, and he picked that out, so I'm super excited to work on it. What we're going to need is a wreath form that was already fluffed, and when it was flat, Jamison's like, is that smaller? Well, yeah, because you have to pull every single one of these branches and erect them, so that way your wreath can look fluffier and fuller and just bigger on the door. All right, so then we're going to use 2 rows of mesh. I'm going to use this selection of ribbons from the at-home store. We're going to do a pink, lime green, red, and blue. And this selection of ribbons came out of our ornaments. Now these ornaments are from Hobby Lobby, and they come in these boxes right here. So we have the bigger ones, and then also we have the smaller ones. We're going to be doing clusters of them. We also have a box of these cute lights. I just thought that it would be super fun. If you guys can see right here, they are the same colors and they are super affordable. These were only $8.99, half off from Hobby Lobby. And also from Hobby Lobby, we're gonna use a selection of these picks. These were found in the, not in the Christmas section, but in the wedding section where you have picks and stuff. Also, I'm gonna use, of course, my gold flyaways and some red flyaways as well. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna get this out of here. I'm going to go ahead and add the mesh off camera because you guys have seen that, how we did it in the previous wreath, and then I'll be right back to give you step number 1. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so as you can see, I went ahead and added all of my mesh, and I do want to point out this is a 5-inch mesh. One of them has a red stripe, the other one has a green stripe, which I thought would be cute to mix them up. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to do our bows, and for that I selected a selection of gorgeous, absolutely beautiful ribbons from the at-home store. So what I'm going to do is super simple, but I love doing this particular technique right here. And I do want to tell you that me and Jamison have been looking for a little pad to put right here. We went to a few stores looking for one, but we want a white one. They had a gray one and a green one, but I know that it's a little loud. So, okay, so bear with me. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 2 loops. This ribbon is really pretty, my goodness. I'm gonna have to go get some more. Look how stunning this is. All of that glitter in the sun. Ooh. And I do want to mention real quick that all of these wreaths that you guys are seeing on this video are going to be available on my Etsy shop. They're one of a kind. So there's only one made, the ones that I make here on the video. So if you do not feel like making your own, I do recommend to come and visit my Etsy shop because those are available right now. All right, so I'm going to start right here. And I want to do 2 little tails with this beautiful blue and 2 loops. And because I have so many different colors, what I'm going to do real quick, so I'm going to show you. So I'm going to cut the tail, and then you do a cute little loop, a little tail, and then you go under it. You pinch, you twist. You want all of that glitter to touch the sun. So we want to make sure that we pinch and twist. And then I'm going to cut right here. I'm gonna grab one of my wires, and as I always tell you, having your tools at the ready is the best thing you can do when you are creating. So I'm gonna do 2 of them back to back like this, because I want this to be really, really full of tails and loops, because it's mainly going to be that, tails and loops, and then ornaments, picks, and other things. And you know, this would be, I was telling Jameson, this would be so pretty if you had, and I looked for one, but I could not find one, a Grinch plaque, because it is perfect for the Grinch theme. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add yet another loop right here. Now we're going to do 3 of them, 3 bows. And you know that when I work in sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s, because that is the most pleasing to the eye, I like to do a triangle shape, because in design, the triangle is like the most perfect shape. And so I'm always encouraging you to keep that in mind, to think on sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s when you are purchasing for materials, and then also to, when you're designing, go ahead and think of a triangle. So I have right here, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go over here on this side, and I'm gonna open some of this mesh. I'm gonna add right here, and remember that we are doing 2 loops or 2 bows back to back. So what you want to do is you wanna do your first, make sure that you cut your tail at a dovetail. And then what we're going to do is we're gonna go and create another one right here, and I'll tell you why. When you are making a wreath, whether it's for yourself or it is for sale, what you want to do is create a little bit of drama on the door. I always tell you that you only get 1 chance to make a first impression, and that is at the door. So be sure to be as dramatic as possible. You know the saying, less is more? Well, I like to say less is a bore. Especially during the holidays, you guys. We only get these few months of the year to really display our artistry and to display our talents on the door, on the tablescape, and on the centerpieces, on the Christmas wreath. So why not just go all out? So I'm encouraging you right now to just be a little bit more dramatic when it comes down to your decorating in your home for the holidays. I'm giving you permission to be dramatic when it comes down to your holiday decorating. So the way you are more dramatic is by, instead of having 1 bow, have 2. And instead of having 2 tails, have 4. And instead of having a short tail, have a long one. Whatever flows your boat, just think about that. You only get a few months out of the year to really put your creativity on display on the front door or all around your home with the holiday season. So just have at it, like my ex-boss used to say, have at it. Have at it and be creative, because I live for being creative. I love it, and I know that so many of you too do as well. So might as well just, and you know what? I want to take a second to say hi. Hi. Do you remember that lady's name that we ran into at the plaza? No, I don't think she said her name, but me and Jameson were shopping one day. We were looking for belts because our pants are falling off. And so somebody's like, Ramon, and I was like, what? And so there was this viewer, super nice lady with her daughter, really cute girl. And so she said hi. We talked about design and how she loves to decorate homes for the holiday, and she loves to watch the channel and all that stuff. And so I just want to say hi, and I really hope that you are enjoying this year's holiday season, because I am trying to, like I said, just go all the way out to share with you guys not only the ideas, but then also the tips and the tricks and the hacks that I have learned in the industry when I worked as a florist for almost 15 years. And then also I like to go to, classes and courses to learn a few tricks and then bring them to you here on my YouTube channel. All right, so as you can see, I have this beautiful triangle of gorgeous ribbon bows. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but every time that I put a bow, I dovetail my tails because I want them to be super dramatic. And like I said, why have 1 dovetail when you can have 6? And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the next ribbon, which is going to be the pink one. And I'm going to open it up right here. And so I'm going to start by dovetailing 1 more time. So I'm going to dovetail, and I just want to show you real quick 1 or 2, and then we're going to speed this process because it's very repetitive. And as you can see, I have quite a few colors, but I want you to see let me twist it again. I want you to see the contrast of these ribbons and the tails. So we started with our triangle right here, and so now I'm going to pinch, 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 twist, go under or over, and then you pinch again, and then you twist again to make sure that that glitter it's facing forward. Now we cut, and remember we want a shorter tail and a longer tail because that's what's going to create the most drama on your door. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my bow right here. And I like to grab, as you can see, a bristle, and then I push with this finger my wire as far down. Then I go over and pinch again. And then I fluff, and then I cut like that. And so as you can see now, it's creating the mixing of the patterns and the colors. I'm gonna share with you real quick. So what I'm going to do is, I'm gonna do yet another one, but I'm gonna put it right here so you guys can see how pretty this is going to be. So pinch, 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 gather, twist, go up, under, pinch, 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 gather, twist, and then spill forward. We cut. This is super easy, you guys. I am telling you, I'm here to encourage you and tell you that if I can do it, so can you. There is nothing special about me. I just continue to practice every year and get a little better, and you too can do that. I promise you. Right, so I'm gonna grab that. I even told Jameson, I'm gonna have you making wreaths before you know it. Do you think you can do a wreath, Jameson?
Yes, it'll be slower, but yes.
See, if he can, so can you. All right, so now what I'm doing right here is like I'm going above the blue, and I'm gonna continue on the same side. So I'm gonna put one right here, and then I'm gonna double them. I still have the green and the red to do. I'm gonna speed up this real quick, and I'll be right back with you to give you the next step, so keep watching. All right, you guys, so I am at the last row of bows, and look how stunning this is. I cannot wait to see it on the sun. I was telling Jameson a story as we were working that one year there was this customer of ours that had her first 2 grandkids, and she lived in a gorgeous home in Kansas, and it was up on a hill, and you know, you drive by and you can see the house up there. And so one year we got commissioned by her to do a beautiful garland with all of these colors, and it was all ornaments, you guys. Can you imagine this ginormous door covered with just colorful, oh, it was so beautiful. And then, like I told you in a previous video, what we do is we put a spotlight on our wreaths so that way it catches all of the light all night long. So sometimes, I kid you not, we would just go drive by it just to look at it at night because it was so stunning. It was just absolutely gorgeous. All right, so I'm gonna do my last one, and I'm gonna repeat real quick. So basically you fold in half, cut up as a dovetail, because if your wreaths are not dovetail, and if I'm at your house, I'm going to ask you for a pair of scissors to do it myself. Because at this point, you guys, you should know that if you don't get a dovetail, I'll do it for you. All right, so then we go under, we fold like this. We want a fluffy bow, and remember to always have a longer tail going down, because that's what's adding all of this texture. Look at all of these tails. Can we say drama? This is a dramatic, beautiful, colorful wreath, and I hope that somebody gets it at my Etsy shop so they can display in your door. And if you get it, be sure to send me a photo on Instagram or tag me on Instagram, because I want to share with everybody so they can see it too. All right, so I'm gonna cut my tail right here. So that is it for our bows. We take a second to fluff all these beautiful bows, to pull the tails, to kind of intertwine them and mix them. Look how stunning that is just by itself. But of course, we could stop right here, but that would not be a Ramon at home wreath. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these cute little lights. And for that, I need to take them out. These, you guys, are from Hobby Lobby. They come in this box, and I need to see what's going on right here, because they come with this like tester thing, and I think it's attached to the box. So let me just cut through it real quick, because I want to know how in the world do they put them in here? Oh, okay, so this attachment comes with it, and I think you don't need that because it is battery operated, and it comes with a free battery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to detach this somehow. All right, let me get this right now. I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, you guys, after I struggled with that package for a few minutes, I am free. And it comes with this battery pack, and this is your tester right here. So we have these cute little lights. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab my wreath. I'm gonna put it right here on my Lazy Susan. I'm gonna move this back a little bit. And the way you're going to install your lights is first you're going to grab your pack, you're gonna put it towards the back, and then with the bristle, you're gonna twist that bristle into the wire. And I wish you could see this real quick. So basically just wrap that, and then you're gonna grab all of these lights and you're going to pull on them because you wanna have as many as possible on that wreath without hiding them. So what you need to do is just pull, 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 pull like this. Once you have them all like this, what you want to do is you want to go around your wreath till you go all the way around like this. Make sure that you have it covered like that. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the ribbons. All right, you guys, so I figured that I bring Jamison in to help in. So basically what I'm doing is I'm grabbing a bristle right here. I don't know if you can see Jamison, and I'm folding that tip down. If you want to get closer, I'm going to do it one more time over here. I'm trying to move all of these bows without disturbing them. Then I grab one of my bristles and I just fold the tip right here because I also want those lights to sit. Let me see if I have the pack right here. I want them to sit out like that. As you guys can see, they are out, but in order to keep them in shape, what you need to do, I'm gonna do one more time right here. So you open up your ribbons without disturbing them, and then you grab a bristle right here, and then you fold like that. Then you go back and fluff that ribbon to hide it. Because once you turn the lights on, as I told you right here, let me do that one more time, you will be able to see the lights, but you don't wanna see that wire. All right, so now I'm gonna continue doing this real quick, and I'll be right back with you to give you the next step. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so we are back after that debacle with the lights, but look how cute it looks. I just absolutely love them, and I cannot wait for you to see the close-up. So the next step is going to be to add some ornaments, and for that I selected the two sizes on the multiple colors. As you guys can see, they're so cute, and they are perfect for this, and I'm gonna start adding them to my wreath real quick. So what you need to do is be generous. Remember, if this is for sale, you have to make sure that you glue perfectly, and you're going to move all of your bows and your ribbons, and you're going to do a clean drop on your ornaments, which means you're gonna have to move everything around to make sure there is no glue on your ribbons, on your picks, on your stems, and in this case on our cute little lights. You also want to make sure that they are popping off. And what you want to do is you want to add a large ornament like this, and you're going to grab an alternate blue one and a smaller size, and you're going to add it somewhere near. So I'm going to add that one right there, and we're going to go around our wreath gluing ornaments. And sometimes you do have to hold it like that so that glue like cools off a little bit. So just a few seconds, put your finger in it so that glue cools off, and then your ornament's not going to be falling off. So now I'm going to grab a green one, and I'm going to just go crazy with the glue, and I'm going to do a clean drop somewhere over here. Just to pass the test.
Pass the tests. Okay, good.
Good. All right, you guys, after I pass Jamison's quality control, I want to explain a few things real quick. So we're doing this on the table like this because two things. Number one, the glue really needs to sit down and cool off. And if you have your stand or your wreath on your stand, the weight of that ornament is going to pull it away from all of your items. So what you need to do real quick, I'm gonna share one over here. So I'm gonna spin around there, and keep in mind that always spin to the same side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a red one, and I'm gonna go in between all of these bows right here. So you have to be really generous with your glue. And one of the things that I was telling that lady, I was telling you I ran into the plaza, was that when you make your wreaths for sale, you guys, you have to charge for the glue, you have to charge for the wire, you have to charge for the time that you're spending doing these wreaths, because it is, after all, a business. So I'm encouraging you to do the math. If you buy a box of glue, divide that cost between all of the sticks, and that's how much you charge per stick. If you are going to use wire, you divide the quantity of the wire per the wires, and then you add that cost to your wreath, because we want you to make money. You know, this is a lot of labor intensive when you're doing these wreaths. So if you are doing this for sale, I encourage you to, like I said, go ahead and charge properly. Don't be embarrassed to charge for your labor. At the end of the day, they're handcrafted. Every single ribbon was touched and dovetailed by you, and that's what your customers are paying for. The other reason why I'm doing it on the table is because it is faster than having to wait there and hold with your fingers. So remember that you are as good as you are fast. So the faster we can work, the more wreaths we can make, and so the more money you're going to be making. Now, if you're making it for yourself, then take all your sweet time. I encourage you to make sure that they all are glued together. So once that you have all of your ornaments right here, what you want to do is grab your hot glue gun, and you're going to open up, and then you're going to move your ornament and just dab some glue right there. And that ornament is going to return to its space and is going to hold even better. So what you need to do is open up and just add some glue generously, and then return those ribbons. And like I said, all of that is going to be held together. So now I have to let this dry for a few minutes, and I'll be right back to give you the last step, which is a Ramon at Home original. So keep watching. All right, so this is what our gorgeous, colorful wreath looks like. You guys, I am in love with it. So our last step is to add the Ramon at Home Flyaways. And for that, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna pull apart some of this beautiful gold. We're gonna use some of the same colors. So we're gonna use some gold. And remember, these ones you just pull apart. I'm gonna use some red. These are from our friends at David Christopher's. Basically, just pull them apart like this. You can actually pull two. I have already some over here. Oh, I have another gold one, perfect. I'm gonna pull it apart real quick, like this. And then I have these ones from Hobby Lobby, or as I like to call it, Hobby Lobster. And these ones are curlicues, and they come in like this, but what you need to do is cut them in two. So that way, that gives you two of them. I'm gonna put those over here. I bought 2 blue and 2 green, and those are just perfect for this. Put those over here. Then I'm gonna pull this guy right here, and
for a fun fact, these curlicues are my favorite style of French fry as well too.
Jamison does like a curly French fry. All right, you guys, don't mind him. See why you're creating a monster. All of a sudden, all these nice comments you leave for Jamison, now he just wants to take my job. No, I'm just kidding. We really do appreciate his help, because I could not do all of it by myself. You guys, these videos are labor intensive, and just having Jamison help, it really does help a lot. All right, so I'm gonna start. I have all of the greens over here, all of the gold, all of the red, and then I have over here, I'm gonna put those greens over here, the blue one. So I'm gonna start with the blue one. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut a little shorter. I'm gonna pull a little of these curlicues because I want it to be some texture. And for that, all you can do is pull, and look at that, you make them a little taller. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a curvature, and I'm going to add my glue right here, being super generous with it, because remember, we want to make sure that there is plenty of it. So now I'm gonna look for a space where I can do a clean drop, and I'm going to drop right here. Look how fun is that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna pull those curlicues and make them taller, and then I'm going to add so much glue, and I'm going to go maybe right here. I'm gonna pull open. I'm gonna find a spot like that. How adorable is that? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin around. Remember, we always spin to the same side, and I always like to spin to my left. I grab my wreath and I go towards me. I'm just used to doing that. I've been doing it for so many years, and I do encourage you to just do it one way. You know what? I'm gonna switch to the green next. So we're gonna do the green next. We're going to alternate them. So you pull on them, then you grab some of your glue, and then we're going to add this guy somewhere over here, looking for a place to do a clean drop like that. I'm gonna spin a little bit more, and then I'm going to add some over here. These are so fun, and I know that your kids would just love. If you have any kids or grandkids, I really encourage you to go ahead and make something like this, because at the end of the day, the holidays are for the children, or is for the children, and I just love it. Since I didn't get to have Christmas growing up, now that I'm an adult, this child inside of me always just loves Christmas. All right, so now I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna grab one of these red ones and I'm gonna add it right there to start adding all of this flyaways. And be generous, like I said, with your glue. Don't be scared of it. Lift up right here. I'm gonna add one right there. And once again, you can alternate them. You don't have to add the same one at the same time. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add a gold one, because at the end of the day, we want all the colors to be mixed. We really don't want it to be one color at a time. We want all of the same colors. Look at that. So we're gonna add this gold one right here. And I'm going to add another gold one. Spinning around a little bit, like this. About, what is that? 20 degrees, Jimson, you say?
I'll say 15.
50?
15.
15 degrees. I'm gonna open right here. And I'm going to add a flyaway right there. Then I'm gonna grab maybe a green one. I'm gonna add a green one going down. So be generous right here. And I'm gonna upside down to let my glue run. I'm gonna open right here, move some of this. I'm gonna add it right here. Look how fun that is. This is so cute, you guys. I really love it. Then I'm gonna go ahead and spin a little bit. Now I'm gonna start with the red one. And remember, these are from David Christopher's, and David Christopher's is offering you 10% off on your entire purchase on their website. You guys, they have some of the best flyaways. I really do encourage to go check them out. And use the code Ramon10 for your free 10% off on your entire purchase on their website. So if you want some flyaways, they really have some great ones. So I'm gonna add another one up here. Let's see which one I did. I'm gonna add this guy right here. Just to have some of, you have to have some of the gold in and some of the gold out, some of the green in, some of the green out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna spin it a little bit further, and then I'm going to grab, let's see, I'm gonna grab a blue one. I feel like we need to do a blue one. I'm gonna cut it a little shorter. This is like creating, I feel like I'm cooking, you know, like when you're cooking and you just have to make sure you have a little bit of dab of this, a little dab of that. We're gonna pull them real quick like that. And so now inside I wanna do maybe a red one. Let's do a red one. This is something that you can also get the kids involved in, you know, selecting the flyaways and selecting the ornaments, and you can let them help you. Just be careful, you know, when they manage that hot glue gun, they're being super safe. Now I'm gonna do a gold one going down. And what would a wreath be without the famous Ramon at home flyaways, right? You guys, I'm always telling you, I do not make any arrangement type, whether it's a Christmas tree, a floral arrangement, or a centerpiece, or a garland, or a wreath without flyaways, because I feel like that is giving it so much depth and texture, and I just also love it. So we are coming to the end. This is going to be our last one. So let's see, we're going to do now a green one, and we're going to pull it to make those curlicues really stand out. Give it a little curvature, add your hot glue gun, and be generous with it. We're going to open right here and look for a place to drop this like that. And now I'm going to add, this blue one coming down. So I'm going to put some glue on it. Be generous. Let it run down a little bit. I'm gonna open right here, look for a spot. And then we're going to add this curly right there. We'll go back and fluff this. Remember, we do not want to disturb our bows and all of those tails. And I feel like we could add a gold one right there, since we already have these gold ones. And these gold ones, you guys, really catch the light, as you can see on the door arrangement that I did previously on this video. That sun catches the light, and oh my God, holidays have arrived. All right, so now I'm gonna give these ribbons a fluff. I'm gonna take it to the door and share with you what it looks like. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so here is the end result on this gorgeous and colorful wreath with a tiny little lights. I'm gonna step out a little bit so you can get the full effect of all of the bows and the ornaments, and the cute lights at night really do add a whole lot of whimsy to this wreath. And check out all of the flyaways and the bows. It is so festive, and like I said, this is perfect if you have kids in the house or if you have grandkids. They will love it because it is so cheerful and so full of life and just holiday cheer. I really hope that you learned a few tricks on this wreath, and we're gonna move on to the next DIY. Can we all say, oh my God, wasn't that wreath just so bright, cheerful, and so full of holiday cheer? You guys, you too can have a gorgeous wreath on your front door if you just follow these simple DIY steps, tricks, and tips on how you can create a beautiful statement on your front door this Christmas season. But now I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks on how you can create a gorgeous, glam, super beautiful wreath for your front door this Christmas season. Let's take a look. All right, you guys, so for this third fabulous Christmas wreath DIY, what I want to share with you is a fast recap of what we've done so far, as to not be so repetitive. So first, what we did is we added a ribbon. On this particular one, we added a gold deco mesh, and then we added bows like we did on the other ones with this beautiful satin pink, and then we have a sheer pink, and right here we have a bedazzled and bejeweled glitter pink ribbon. So those are all of the bows that we added. After that, we added our stems, which is this flocked right here, and then I added some flyaways, and then our florals, which is the poinsettias. After that, what we're going to do is we're gonna finish real quick, and I stopped at the flyaway. So what I'm going to do, so I'm gonna do a few more on this wreath. I think it is beautiful. This is very glam, and it is perfect for somebody who likes, like, well, just beautiful things. So I'm gonna add one right there. Remember, what happens or what goes up must come down. And so for that, I'm going to go ahead and spin around a little bit. I just wanted to add a few more to explain this real quick to you. Like I said, these steps are very repetitive, but I did wanted to share with you this gorgeous wreath that is going to be available on the Etsy shop. And just so you know, it is the same steps. So basically you follow the same steps of all of the wreaths that we've been making, and at this point, we're just filling in the spots where we feel like we need some touches of flyaway. You guys, when I worked at the flower shop, let me tell you what my favorite flyaway was. Fern. I love working with fern. Fern is so elegant because it has so much movement, especially if you're working with fresh flowers. Oh my gosh, I wish I had pictures of this time that we did the cathedral for Easter. It was all white lilies and fern, and it was so beautiful. And you know what I miss about the Midwest is that also we used as a flyaway. It's, oh my gosh, what is the name of that bush? It's a bush, and it has a really beautiful white flower all throughout the arm. Do you remember that flower? Oh my gosh, we had it planted outside of the shop because we used it so much that we wanted to have it all year long. So I'm gonna add this one right here. What is the name of that flower? It'll come to me, trust me. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna use some of the poinsettias that I added, but this is a trick I'm gonna give you. I'm going to set them apart. I'm gonna pull them apart, and I'm gonna grab my scissors. Some of these you can just pull and they come right out. Let me see if I can do it. Oh yeah, there it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Spirea. It's called spirea. That bush that we had planted outside the shop, oh my gosh, spirea and white lilies was my favorite to work with. So spirea and fern is my favorite combination of flyaways to work with. All right, so I'm gonna start right here. So I'm gonna start with these two. What you want to do is just give them a little bit of a twist like this, and you're going to do 2 foliages like that. And then what you want to do is add some glue to it. And this is going to add extra petals where the poinsettias are. So I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna add a few extra petals like that. And look at that, it just extends your poinsettia all the way over So I'm gonna give it a little bit of spin, and I'm gonna add another one over here. So what I like to do is I like to grab a large one and then put a small one right here on the front, and then I just twist those wires that they come with to give them that shape. Look how pretty these are. And then what I do is I just bend a little bit at the top, and I add some glue to it. This is another trick for your trick book. I should write a book on trick books from the floral industry. So I'm gonna spin around one more time. I'm gonna grab one, two more, and then remember to just spin them around like this, and then bend a little bit, and we're gonna add some glue to it.
This color palette reminds me of rosé champagne.
Jameson says that this color palette reminds him of rosé champagne. Jameson, you guys, his profession is a sommelier. So he can work with wine how I can work with flowers. And it is a perfect combination. And if you want to see some ideas how to pair wine with flowers, that's a good idea, Jameson. We should do that. How to pair, we should do a tablescape for Christmas, and then we can pair the wine and the flowers for the holidays.
Yes.
Let's do that. So once we start decorating the house for Christmas, what we're going to do is we're going to have Jameson as a guest, and he's going to share with us how to add a wine selection to our Christmas dinner table. All right, so I have two more that I'm going to pair together. Look how absolutely stunning this is, you guys. So basically just twist them together like this. You fold it up. You're left with these two. You want to give them some character like this. And then we grab our glue. We glue right here. And this can be done with any poinsettia that you may have that you want to use. Look at that. Just adds extra petals, and it makes your wreath look fuller. All right, so now what we have is some ornaments, and I'm just gonna add a few clusters of ornaments. So I'm gonna put some glue on the first one right here, and remember to always find the top of your wreath where the top is going to be. And I think at this point my top is going to be that right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab an ornament. I'm gonna do a clean drop right there, and then I'm gonna grab a second one, but I want it to be not the same one, of course, because I want texture and variety. So I'm gonna put a lot of glue on my wreath, and I'm going to open up right here. I'm gonna cluster them together like that. And look how cute, just a touch of ornament really screams holiday. So I'm gonna do one more time, but I'm going to do that triangle. So remember, it's gonna drop about right here. And I'm gonna glue, glue, glue. I'm gonna add this glittered one, and remember to always combine your glitter ones and your matte ones. And for this occasion, I'm gonna add another shiny one, and we're gonna go like this. Lots of glue, smear it. And then here's another trick. When you go ahead and drop it, remember to do a clean drop. So you have to move some of these things around. When you drop it, what you wanna do is kind of spin it around so that glue really smears. And look at that, that gives us the second cluster. And so now I'm gonna move over maybe around this side. So I'm gonna spin my wreath a little bit down like this. Once I selected where I'm gonna put my second cluster, what I need to do is just add some glue real quick and drop my first ornament. It is really convenient if it touches all of those bristles, but because that really helps it to tuck on. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna add this last ornament. I'm gonna put this in the door and give you a close-up so you can see the end result. Keep watching. How absolutely stunning is this gorgeous rose gold and gold wreath? These poinsettias, you guys, look like sugared poinsettias, and they're so stunning. And say hi to me there in the reflection. How about those flyaways? They are so beautiful. I'm always telling you, flyaways can make or break the look of your wreath, your floral arrangement, or your Christmas tree. I just love the selection of materials on this wreath. It is super glam, and I really hope that you consider making yourself a glam wreath this holiday season. Or remember, this is also available on my shop right now for snatch. It is one of a kind, and it is absolutely gorgeous and glam. What do you guys think?